Alright, so this is going to be another movie review. This one's called Balto 2 Wolf. Wolf? Woof? 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 Balto 2 Wolf Quest. This is going to be another cartoon movie. Voices by David Carradine, Mark Hamill, who also did the Joker from Batman Mask of the Phantasm. He does the bad guy voice again. And there's another actor that I never heard of who also did some voices in Batman Mask of the Phantasm. So they hired two guys from that movie. I hated this flick. I only got it because I'm a David Carradine fanatic. I gotta see every single one of his works, whether it be just voiceover or actual cameo appearances, whatever. So I'm watching those. He was in a ton of movies at the end of the century, right around this time, the turn of the century. Yeah, so most of them are crap, this being one of them. Pardon my French for any kids who are watching this. Anyways, it's about a half husky, half wolf named Balto. I guess his husky wife has a litter of dogs. Most of them look like her, but there's one that looks even more wolf than Balto. It's his daughter Alu. So they try to pawn off the kids after they're about a year old to human owners, but the only ones that go are the red ones, the husky-looking ones. Alu is the only one left. So this goose-looking bird, Uncle something, forget his name, is kind of taking care of Baltor and Alu at the same time. But then out of the blue, Balto's having these nightmares about some raven making him chase a bunch of caribou on this floating ice kind of I don't know, pathway, I guess. The floating ice in the water, the broken ice, kind of icebergs, I guess. I don't know. So he keeps having nightmares about that. Meanwhile, out of the blue, he tells Alu that she's more wolf than he is. So she gets all ticked off, like she wants nothing to do with her dad because she's different, I guess. She's trying to find out who she is, so she decides to run away, and so the dad follows her, Balto, and a bunch of weird stuff happens, like they meet imaginary wolverines, imaginary bears. Eventually they meet up with the bad wolves from David Carradine's wolf pack. I guess the leader of the bad wolves, Naiju, is voiced by Mark Hamill. And more weird stuff happens, like David Carradine turns from a wolf into a tree, back to a wolf. there's some lame ass survival of the fittest kind of parody stuff with Naiju, the Mark Hamill character, rather than following the David Carradine's advice to have Balto and Alu take the lead and go over this walkway of ice. Naiju wants to attack the other wolf packs, steal their food. So that was kind of cliched, kind of lame. I didn't like that at all. Yeah, that's about it. I mean, just couldn't find anything redeeming in this film. It's a Universal Cartoon Studio film, so I haven't seen too many of those. But and of course, I haven't seen the original or the third movie in the Balto series. Probably never will. So I don't really have anything to compare this to. But this movie is just total crap. Pardon my French again. Really boring. Kind of, I don't know, I guess it's tailored to a 3-year-old or a 4-year-old, although it is kind of scary at times, with the Wolverines and stuff, and the Naiju character is kind of scary. There's another wolf that has a bunch of flies constantly biting it or pestering it. So that was kind of interesting. They mixed the totem pole kind of, I don't know, native kind of stuff in there. I didn't really understand what that was about. David Carradine becoming one with the tree. I thought that was kind of lame. Yeah, I just really couldn't get into this movie. I thought it was awful. And then I had to sit through Lizzie McGuire season 2. Oh man, Hilary Duff when she was like 14, 13. That was equally torture as this movie. Although I am watching Naked Movie, which is pretty damn good. It's like Burn Hollywood Burn, an Alan Smythe film meets Con Man. So pretty cool flick. I got some chuckles out of it, even though it does have some racist jokes. It's the director in that movie is hilarious. The way he says stuff, just out of the blue one-liners. So pretty cool. I was pleasantly surprised. David Carradine has a cameo in it. Karma Electric is just great in that movie. Not to mention the director himself. Very funny. Andy Dick plays the porn king. So I'll review that after I review the Lizzie McGuire fiasco, which was a popular Disney TV show at the turn of the century again for like 3 years or something. I guess it gave Hilary Duff a lot of fame. I don't even know who the hell Hilary Duff is, but it looks like she's got a boob job now that I googled her pictures. Compared to the Lizzie McGuire television show, where she's really flat-chested and hasn't matured past puberty yet, or maybe she has. But ironically, the episode with David Carradine is also not only about Kwai Chang Caine, but it's also about her training bra, which is kind of interesting. So yeah, girls Disney television show, definitely not up my alley, but kind of interesting nonetheless. for the David Carradine cameo. And of course, Robert Carradine plays the dad. So, anyways, I guess I'll go into more detail on my next television show review, DVD review, whatever you want to call it. This movie was just lame. I hated it. I'm just not a fan of kids movies. Although I find myself watching a lot of them, so I figure I may as well review this one since it's got David Carradine again. Yeah, so I've got Naked Movie left, then I got some kind of kung fu martial arts documentary with David Carradine in it. So I guess that's what I'll be watching tomorrow, although I started dating a 27-year-old Chinese fob. Her English isn't too good, but she does have a little hair underneath her armpits. She's got very hairy legs. She's 5'10", so it feels like I'm dry humping a man. And I say that because she let me take her to the private spa hot tub kind of room, private room, like we got naked, dry humped on Monday. So that was pretty cool. Love at first sight, I guess. Supposed to see her again tomorrow, so I guess we'll do more of the same. I want to take her to a Chinese restaurant, but she wants a quiet place, so I guess I got to drive all the way to Redwood City from San Francisco, which is kind of a pain in the ass, but she's picky, and I have to be patient with her, which is fine. She's got really white, kind of Asian glow skin, and tattoos on her leg, her back, and her two forearms, actually. So that's pretty cool. Kind of small breasts, but round. Not as small as my last wife, though. And her nipples are pink, so kind of interesting. Yeah, she's got very hairy legs on it. Not her thighs, but her calves, kind of hairy like mine, bushy almost. So that was kind of interesting. Unfortunately, I can't have intercourse with her until next month because she has ovarian disease. She just had surgery on her stomach. It looks like a C-section cut across her stomach. So, kind of an interesting gal. She couldn't talk on Monday because I guess she just had surgery and it messed up her vocal cords somehow. I wonder if she can talk tomorrow. Anyway, she flaked on me today. She said she was going to buy my son a toy, and I was supposed to pick her up at 4:30. And she goes, "Oh, can we reschedule for tomorrow?" So typical okay Cupid date, but I'm not complaining, man. She's like 20 years younger almost, so can't complain about that. And she was on the Chinese national volleyball team for 5 years. It's kind of interesting. I guess she traveled to Auckland, New Zealand, and now the United States. I don't know if she's gonna stick with me or go out to Wisconsin somewhere where Audra Hando is living. Whatever. Kind of interesting. It's definitely my best date ever by far. I have to give her that much credit. I mean, I'm not complaining at all. About the dry humping and the French kissing in the private spa. that was pretty good for a first date. I mean, she was expecting intercourse, but I guess she hasn't had it for a long time, and she can't have it until October for medical reasons. I don't know if there's a lot of scar tissue up in there where her ovaries used to be, or what's going on, but because it takes about a month to heal. So yeah, I'm sure it'll be well worth the wait. But unfortunately, we gotta adopt kids if she's up to it. That can be quite expensive, like $30,000 to adopt a girl from China, that kind of thing. Well, maybe the Catholic Church has some kind of program. I gotta look into it. Anyways, enough about my sex life dating stuff. I guess it's inappropriate for rated G film, which I think this one is, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it's rated G. Let me check. Yeah, this one's rated G. So that's probably why I hated it. There aren't too many rated G movies that I like. Mostly because they're geared towards toddlers and stuff. Or maybe at the very least, or at the very most, maybe 6-year-olds, that kind of stuff. I don't think my son would have enjoyed this movie for the same reasons that I disliked it. I hated the music, and the animation wasn't that good. The story was awful. And it just felt like that Mouse movie, that Manhattan Island. Yeah, the Mouse movie that took place in Manhattan Island. It was eerily similar to where the bad guys are kind of dog-eat-dog, kind of greedy, capitalist pig type kind of nonsense. That really bothered me. I hate that kind of stuff. It's kind of brainwashing kids that free markets are a bad thing too. So there's that. Really can't say highly recommended, but I can't say skip it, and I can't say check it out, but I can say skip it. So that's the end of my review. Laters.